coaches of the Couples Lounge show. We do this every Saturday at 9 o'clock. Ain't nobody doing it like us.
Because they ain't us.
And we come in talking about love, marriage, and relationships. Yeah, we're going to bless some marriages today. So let me go on and get into the announcement. Then I'll tell y'all about how that song right there about triggered me this morning. So this is the announcement. We are still putting together a group coaching session. So if you are in a place where you know you and your spouse are going through infidelity, betrayal, unforgiveness, not having boundaries, whatever, and you need coaching, and maybe you can't do it individually, but doing it as a group is more financially beneficial. So if you want to join the group coaching sessions, we already have a couple of couples, and we're trying to add some more. So get at us, inbox us, and I'll send y'all to the registration piece. So yeah, that's my announcement. Join the group coaching session. If you have not shared the video, share the video. Good morning, Veronica, Erica, Chris, Shayla. What up, Kevin? Let's see. Scroll up. You all, if you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel, make sure you do that. Welcome Instagram. Welcome YouTube. Let's see. Hey, Kanisha, and hey, Monica. What up, Lisa? So, do what, say what. First of all, let me do what, say what. Now, let me talk about it. Okay, I picked a little secret this morning as a song. And as I listened to that song, I felt something in my spirit starting to stir up. Like, how y'all talking about being in the room with him and his girlfriend and the fact that she don't know it really turned you on? I almost changed songs. I was like, no, I don't want to do this one. Let me go find another song. But the fact that I felt something in her, I said, no, I might need to go on and play my little secret. Because you know when it starts stirring, it means you gotta start looking at some things. Oh, wow, that's bothering me. And maybe it triggered some of y'all this morning. So let's get it going. So that's my story about my little secret. I went on and picked it though. But the fact that she don't know, it really turned me up. You need to come see me because you got issues. You got issues. Okay, so that's my little piece on my little secret. We're talking about sex and infidelity on this morning and how it impacts your relationship, period. So, baby, I want to ask you this. This was my do what, say what moment as I was preparing for the show.
I ain't gonna like this show.
Yes, you are.
Go ahead.
The author, her name is Amy Calhoun. She said this, and you give me your perspective. I don't know if you can think about it this quick and really think about it. It is okay to kiss a friend without putting the marriage or the primary relationship in jeopardy. So basically, ain't nothing wrong with kissing. For sure.
Are you serious?
Yes, I'm serious. She said that.
She need a face slap. Hell no, that's the dumbest thing. Is she a coach or something?
No, she's an author. So she's writing books. So she's putting that out there.
She shouldn't write relationship books.
Yeah.
And what married person unless they're in an open marriage is okay with their husband kissing another woman or wife kiss? Stop.
But if it's their friend and they know,
slap your face.
Okay. I just wanted to check and make sure I wasn't tripping because when I read it, this was all my face right here. Like, what? I had to read it like twice. Like, what are you talking about? So, foolishness, it is going to jeopardize your marriage unless you
jeopardize. It's going to end it.
I think even okay. I'm not gonna chase that rabbit. So let's go. So I want to say this off top. I actually titled this off top. Gaining more knowledge and understanding. That's what we're gonna do today is gain more knowledge and understanding of the true impact of infidelity. I know on the show before we've talked about infidelity, but this show has more substance to me when we're talking about it. Understand this, that the betrayed spouse or partner is going to have a hard time forgiving you because of the hurt and the pain that comes with infidelity. Let's get that out the way. So anybody that's thinking you should be able to get over it, you need to move on. It is going to be hard to forgive you because of the hurt and the pain that comes with infidelity, especially when you marry. Especially when you marry. And thinking a one-night stand or an affair ain't that big of a deal. It was just a one-night stand. This whole thing. Sex don't mean nothing to no man. What? Okay, let me calm down. So it is a very big and to have a mindset that a one-night stand or affair is not a big deal, that is dangerous. That's a dangerous mindset to have. Okay, got that off top, got that out of the way. So here we go. We're gonna talk about it. So if there has been infidelity in your relationship and you think your marriage is good, I'm pretty sure you're highly mistaken.
No, it depends on how long it happened, how long ago it was.
Okay.
That's that now. Because you can bounce back for infidelity and your relationship can be even stronger. Yes, it's hard and it's going to take time. But just because you dealt with it don't mean you can't,
But you gotta have dealt with it. Even if it's happened a year ago, if you have not dealt with it,
Mr. Knowles,
for you to think your marriage is good, you're wrong. You're wrong.
Right.
If you have not fully dealt with it. And so
and I hate to say this.
Say it.
Think about it. How many couples haven't dealt with infidelity? Regardless if you haven't told nobody. How many couples that's been married or together 10 years alone? What percentage of those relationships?
You saying no nobody outside the house,
no,
even the people
I'm saying
inside.
Regardless if they haven't said anything. If you got 1 million couples that have been together or married for 10 years, what percentage of them couples haven't dealt with infidelity?
Well, they said 70% of men cheat. So 70%.
See, that's that BS. That's that BS I'm talking about.
But it did say 50% of women, but men do cheat more. Let's get that understood. So let us, y'all. So let us. This show is to help you understand why your marriage is probably not good as you think it is.
We're gonna talk about that, Ms. Tyler.
After infidelity. So if you have not shared the video, you are just coming on. You are tuned into the Couples Lounge show, and this month we have talked about real questions, real answers about sex from this book. So here we go. These are just rhetorical questions. Does cheating ever get old?
Yes.
And I ain't talking about no age. Why? Okay, go ahead. Let me let you talk.
Yes, it can get old. You can reach a point in your personal individual life to where you realize, man, I don't want to do that. There's too much work, too much involved, too much lying, sneaking, and cheating I got to do. Man, that's old, man. That's played out. So yes, it can get old.
Good.
It can.
And another question, I had to ask myself, how do you, the person that keeps cheating, how do you keep betraying your vows over and over? A vow you took in the presence of God, a vow you took to your spouse. You just easy. Sure. Please explain.
Well, here we go.
Explain.
A person can easily do something over and over again they see nothing really wrong with. If I don't really see too much is wrong with it, or I ain't getting caught, ain't no big deal, I could continue to do infidelity. So that's how I can easily keep doing it.
Because you don't see nothing wrong with it.
Right. And I'm doing it, it ain't getting done to me, and ain't that big of a deal. This is what you can rationalize anything.
to make it fit, to make it right, to make it all right.
Yes.
Okay. See how easy that went? That wasn't no problem.
I just went off how you went. I thought you were
Well,
going to choke me for a second.
I wasn't going to choke you. So we're going to talk about right now, like, how we know infidelity is causing marriage not to be good. When you cheat, you affect everybody. Yeah. Everybody loses when you cheat. And so let me break it down for those that don't believe it don't impact everybody. So first of all, the spouse, the person that has been cheated on, once they find out, how does that affect them? So for those that have cheated and you don't understand why he or she is still mad, why they can't get over it, why they are impacted the way they do, you're about to find out. The way they are, you're about to find out. It's the fact, for me, and some of this is for me, that you gave yourself, your body to somebody else. Like, that is just hard to wrap your mind around. Because, and okay, let me slow down. Because I was supposed to joke on something else. Get your hands off me. The fact that you didn't think about your family. You didn't think about your family, and like, this is the stuff that the person that was betrayed is thinking. This is how it's affecting your spouse. Then that person started looking inward, like, what's wrong with me? Why can't I make my wife happy or my husband happy? And so they turn it in and start looking at them like, I gave you my heart. I've given you my heart. I've trusted you with that. And you go and you betray me by sleeping with somebody. So that's just the surface of how the spouse is impacted. Then you have the kids. The kids are sitting in the middle of chaos. Because if you can't keep that stuff under wrap and in your room, it's impacting your kids. Because now they see us arguing. Now they see us distancing. And even if you're trying to keep it on the low, kids are watching. They notice. And so when they can't rationalize what's going on between mom and daddy, why they arguing about this? Now in their mind, they got to start making up stuff to make it seem right, help them understand it. So now at that point, your child brain is starting to rewire to be able to survive in the midst of y'all chaos and y'all confusion and y'all, and Lord forbid if it's abuse. How do you think it affects the kids when you think about students, or even just how do you think it affects kids?
Let me come back to that. Forget the kids right now.
No, not forget the kids. Because there's some adults still today that are adults that still deal with the fact of my parents got divorced.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I don't mean forget. I didn't say F the kids. I said forget the kids for right now. Let me say something else.
Okay.
How many of you read the Bible or know the word or call yourself, a godly person and try to, live life accordingly? The Bible can be extremely scary. It can be very. It can warn you. It does warn you. The Bible is very clear on it, and when you read it and as an adult, and you're like, wow, oh my God, that's powerful. I'm gonna read something real quick. I have to read this because it goes with this. Okay, this is Proverbs. But a man who commits adultery has no sense.
No.
Blows and disgrace are at his lot, and his shame will never be wiped away. For jealousy arouses a husband's fury. He will show no mercy when he takes revenge. He will not want any compensation. He will refuse a bribe. That's just one aspect that I read of it. Basically, the Bible says, first of all, you won't get away with nothing. Your wife don't know. Your husband don't know. I know. And I'm not letting you get away with it. And he warns you. And how many times have you saw a jealous spouse kill the person that was cheating with their spouse, male or female.
Yeah.
To me, that's man, that right there alone is powerful. Okay, go ahead. How does it affect the kids? It affects the kids in ways. One way that you kind of touched on, it shows a daughter or a son. One, my father or my mother done it, and subconsciously it can put that act in them.
And that's the older kids. The teenagers get
that. Can put that in them to work. This is what men do. This is what women do.
That's normal.
It's normal. This is something you deal with. So they'll either do it or accept it. Or accept it as it's normal.
Right, Chris. Even at 6 years old, I've been looking more into inner childhood. That 0 to 7, when we think kids, like that is the foundation for our life. Whatever our life was like, whatever we experienced, whatever we saw between 0 and 7, that is the survival stage. That is the trust stage. But I ain't gonna get into that. So how does it impact the person involved, like the actual person that commits the adultery? Like you said, that person, the Bible says you don't even have sense, the fact that you would do it. But even that person, when it's maybe not even when it's discovered, they walk around sometimes with guilt, with shame. And sometimes when people cheat, it does eat them up inside. Even that they did it, they are still bothered by it. I think those are people that have like a conscience and realize like dang, I tripped out. What I did was wrong. Sometimes it's anger that comes with that, because now my spouse is tripping. So now I'm angry because that person is the betrayed spouse, just won't let up. So you got anger. Hold on, baby, I'm gonna let you get it. And then it affects your reputation, and it even affects your finances, because now you're trying to take care of 2 houses, 2 situations. So even the adulterer is impacted by infidelity. So all the pleasure don't say pleasure all the time. Go ahead.
Erica Holloway said there's a difference between when men and women cheat. Most men cheat from a level of animal instinct to conquer and pleasure. And when most women cheat, it comes from a level of emotional disconnect and the need for intimacy. That's why men can't forgive as easily as women can. Okay. Wow, I agree with that. That was powerful, I thought.
Okay, so now you got the lover. That's the other person that's impacted. The person that the adulterer was cheating with. How are they impacted? Although they can say, we can cheat and I ain't go, you know what I'm saying? I know my place. When emotions are involved, when sex is involved, when the heart is involved, a lot of times that stuff goes sideways and people forget what their role was, because when it comes to matters of the heart, it's hard to fight that. So the lover, they become hurt. Definitely if they didn't know you was married. They feel disgrace. They feel shame. They feel anger. The impact on their home if they marry. And when I always say they're like playing with the heart. People kill people behind this, and I hate to say it like that, but it's real. Violence comes from infidelity. It produces another side of people that they didn't even realize they were capable of.
Right.
Then you have the family dynamics, because if we get a divorce, now whenever our kids have something, you got to bring in 2 different families together. You bringing in now if you get a new family, how do we bond? We can't go to family functions without confusion, this and the other. All that to say, and also it hurts the marriage union, because if people see a married person after a cheating, like you hurting God's union by what you doing.
Right. A lot of people already have a bad ideal about marriage anyway.
Right.
Based off of what they see, how other married people, what they're going through.
Bottom line, infidelity does not just impact the person cheating and who they cheating with and their spouse. It impacts everybody and everything.
Yeah, it does.
So now that we done got that out the way, and y'all are just tuned in, y'all are listening to the Couples Lounge show. Okay, Mom, let me get your infidelity. It said infidelity is a reflection of your heart and your mind. The act takes both to execute it. And so let me read what the book said, and then I'm gonna let Mom give his perspective. It said, Jesus said, adultery is an affair of the heart and the mind. That means that having sex is the physical expression of what has already happened in your heart. The breaking of trust and commitment began when you let someone other than your marriage partner move into your soul.
I don't necessarily think it's a reflection of a man of your heart. I truly believe. I believe this with all my heart, because I hate to say it, I was that guy even before marriage, really, especially before marriage. I was the guy who could be in the bed with you and had absolutely no feelings for you. So I could sleep with you and have. And so no, my heart was not involved at all. So I'm not agreeing with that. But the mind, yeah, I mean, you want it. It starts up here, but my heart was not involved. That you can have sex or cheat without bringing your heart.
But it said it is the affair of the heart, which means anything done or to be done, anything requiring action or effort.
I get that. I believe sex was intended to be a love, an act that involves your heart. Sex is an act that was intended to have your heart involved, because this is your wife. I love this woman. I'm having sex with the person I love. It wasn't intended for you to have sex with this woman and say, all right, let me go mess with her, who I don't care about, who I don't love, who I don't have a commitment with God. It wasn't intended for that.
But
therefore you can.
Okay. Different. In the Bible, it says that what makes us unclean is not what goes in. Food doesn't make us unclean, because food go in and it come out. But what makes us unclean, according to God, is what comes out of our mouth. Right. And what comes out of your mouth starts from your heart. So in that sense, I can see how it does come from your heart, because whatever you spewing out, even whatever you're telling the woman, it may not mean I'm emotionally, like my heart love you, but whatever is in here, whatever I think or feel, because our thoughts come from my heart. When it comes, whatever I'm saying to you, even if I'm running game on you, what is in your heart that you
nothing?
What is in your heart that you can sleep with a woman? Listen, lay in the bed with her, and take her body in the way that you have done, knowing probably how she connected, how she feel, and you can get up and leave there and feel like you are emotionally disconnected. How can you even hurt somebody like that?
Easy, because we don't care. I'm not thinking of you like that. There's nothing in my darn heart for you. If I saw you in the street, I have nothing in here for you.
I get what I'm saying as a person
in my heart,
because I'm saying not that your heart is connected to her, but who you are comes from your heart. Okay. So what does that say about you as a person?
That says
I'm heartless.
I'm heartless.
It matters of the heart.
My heart is turning against God and myself right now. I'm heartless against His word, His commandment. My heartless to what my vows is to my wife. I agree, and I feel you.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, I got you.
Yes.
But my heart ain't with this heifer.
I'm not saying
your heart might not be with that dude.
But your heart speaks of who you are, your character, this and the other. Okay. So that was the aha for me. Like, oh, so it takes all of that to go into infidelity. So here are some other reasons why people commit adultery. And first of all, infidelity is a selfish act. Period. As you see that period, point blank, it is selfish. Just to let you know. And it's destructive to your marriage, period, point blank, to let you know. So reasons that people commit adultery. The promises that sex brings. Sex brings power. Sex brings love. Sex brings excitement, happiness, security, and relationships. That's just what it it brings, period. Even if it's right here, that's what it brings. And even if done outside. So whenever any of that is lacking, that it pushes people out. So if I'm in my marriage, I don't feel love. I feel abandoned. I feel rejected. It makes you vulnerable to stepping out of your marriage. Other reasons people have lost their connection with God. Do you believe that? Like,
say that again?
You lose your connection. If you've lost your connection with God, I'm sure you do.
You lose your connection with God.
Because you have lost your connection with God, it's easier to step out.
Yeah, oh gosh, yes, heck yeah. The closer you are to God, the more sensitive you are to sin, period. Have a relationship with God, you're sensitive to all you do, all you say.
And then it said the fact that we want it. We have a desire.
Sex for men is just pleasure a lot of the time, more times than not. It's simply pleasure. More times than not, it's simply pleasure and pleasure only. And that is selfish, to go exactly with what you said. It's a selfish act.
Okay, and it says we want it. Their perspective was, we live in a culture that has abandoned marital fidelity. In addition, individual freedom has superseded responsibility to the family and society. If we personally want something, we go for it. Reasoning, what I do in my private life is my own business.
You don't believe what, Crystal?
I don't either. I'm just gonna keep it pushing though.
More times than not, with a man, I didn't say always, I didn't say every man. More times than not, if 10 men cheat, 5 or 6 of them just wanted some booty. They didn't love this woman. They don't care for that woman. They just wanted some booty. Don't get it twisted.
If you are a constant cheater, cheating, you have somebody that can give you the booty and you still step out. For me, it is deeper than I just want the booty, because you got the booty in your house. You got the booty there. So for me, I believe it is deeper. Like it says, sex is power.
That
so
could be something within him. Yeah. But that don't mean okay.
Okay, let's.
Yes, of course some men get attached. Some men have feelings. I said more times than not. I didn't say always.
Okay, so the steps to infidelity. That whole "it just happened" lies. Infidelity, cheating does not just happen. So
he couldn't see. He might have slipped and fell on top of her. Don't say that to that brother.
Shut up. So why is this important to understand? To understand that it just doesn't happen. So if you somebody who cheat and you have been saying it just happened, let me break it down for you so that you understand that it just does not happen. It starts with, as you say, a conversation or a flirt. That's step number 1. You already started the process. Go ahead.
You talking about what you say?
Flirting and having a conversation.
Stop. Put a pin right there. Put a pin right there.
Okay.
That's your biggest mistake when people say flirting is harmless. That's the dumbest thing there's nothing wrong with flirting, just flirting. Okay, you gonna flirt with this one that looks good, say the right things, do the right things, and that one particular day your husband, your wife, your girlfriend, boyfriend has done something and you're in an extremely vulnerable place, and now you've been flirting with me, and I effed around and got you. Just because we started flirting, we've been flirting, and I got you at the right place, right time, and I can get you. If you don't flirt with me, appropriate conversation, I can't get you if we don't talk.
Yeah.
If we ain't saying nothing, ain't doing no, we may look, I can see the look, but we ain't saying nothing, how am I gonna get you?
And if they flirt, even if you didn't catch it the first time, you're going to catch it. You're going to peep it. That's when you got to start putting some boundaries up with that person. And if you know you're not strong enough, you need to get out of their presence. And Chris, I'm so glad that you said that men have emotions and feelings too. Y'all stop that men ain't made to be emotional. We all have emotions. Yeah. We all have emotions.
And nowadays, men are almost more or just as equally emotional than women.
So men
have been raised by women now.
We need to change that narrative that men don't have emotions. Stop that. Stop that, because they do.
Especially
let me help you understand that they do.
Boys have been raised by women, so they're being raised emotionally. I believe that.
So you got to understand that if you did something, if you cheated, if the woman cheated, you're gonna see he got emotions. So trust and believe. Stop that.
They're talking about emotions with the other one, not with you. Everybody knows you emotional with the one you love.
But somebody said on there, my husband said men are not emotional.
And I took that in regards to with that other person.
Okay.
Yeah, not
all right. So infidelity is a gradual process. It might start with a conversation. We're gonna just go to lunch. It ain't nothing wrong. You know, we work together. We're gonna go to lunch. Ain't nothing wrong with us going to lunch. Then you go to lunch 1 day a week. Now you find yourself going to lunch 3 days a week. Or I'm just gonna call and just talk to them to vent. It starts out just venting. Right. And venting. Now the conversation done turned. You know, even if it's somebody that's friends with your husband or this, it turned. So it's gradual. When you don't have a sober mind, when you don't have a sober mind, it makes it so much easier. I was reading in First Peter. So it was talking about having a sober mind, and when your mind is not sober, it allows the devil to mess with you, play with you, tell you this, tell you that. So that, I was drunk, that might be the case, that you truly was drunk. And because you were drunk, you were not aware that you were going farther and farther and farther. That's why we are told to keep a sober mind. And it makes you vulnerable also. This is what got me.
Okay.
As a believer, I'm talking to only my believers right now. The Bible says, 1 Corinthians 10 and 13, God will not tempt us beyond what we can bear. He will always provide us a way out of sin. He will always, and has that your Holy Spirit, your conscience. I just believe when you are doing sinful things, your consciousness, your Holy Spirit is saying, man, stop talking to her. Man, stop looking at him. Stop that. You need to walk off. You're having that little voice, but what we do when it comes to sin and not just cheating, we ignore the voice and we keep pushing. So understand, if you are a believer, God is always giving you a way out. Yeah. All the time, if you just listen to the voice. Yeah, if you listen to the voice.
That's real.
You got something you want to speak on?
No. I need to give you a collection.
Yeah, when I read that, I was like, ooh. And so that just helped me in all kind of areas. Not just this. That helped me in all kind of areas. So until we heal from the selfish act of infidelity, y'all, the reality is that our sex life with our partner is going to be impacted. Whether it's subtly or like majorly impacted, it is impacted. So you got to know that your marriage, if you are a serial cheater, like you just can't seem to stop, you need to reach out to me. We got some coaching we need to do. But for everybody else, baby, you want to start it off talking about like, how do we heal? Okay. So for those that know that they have done wrong, you want to do better, you want to heal, whatever is causing you to cheat, and just to move you towards that process, understand this. You gotta apologize and don't minimize the situation.
Say that one more time.
Apologize and don't minimize what you did. Don't
leave the butt out.
Yeah.
So, but you didn't do this, but you did.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Because what that has done, it destroys your self-worth, the person's self-worth, and also the trust. So if you don't remember nothing else, apologize and do not minimize it wasn't that big of a deal. I just did it. I ain't emotionally attached to her. Do not start trying to rationalize your reason. Apologize from a sincere place. If you're not sincerely sorry and mean it from your heart,
right, you're gonna do it again.
Yeah, and don't even say it. Like, just wait till you get to that place. How about saying, I don't know what to say right now. I don't know what to say. Confess your sin without justifying, and I think that's what you would say. But do you think that's normal for people to try to justify what they did?
Justify or justify or give an explanation. That there's a thin line sometimes between the two. You're telling me why, or you trying to justify it. A lot of times we'll try to justify it to limit the blow of the effect of what it did. Yeah, I did it, baby. You wasn't doing this. You wasn't. Yeah. So therefore, it makes you think, dang, she right, he right. And the effect is not the same. That's why we'll justify. That's why we'll justify.
And I think the justifying also is it's a form. You'll start projecting in that, and you don't feel good. That goes back to talk about how it affects you when you find out. It does not make you feel good when your spouse find out how you have betrayed them. So you start trying to justify it to make yourself feel better because you know you did wrong.
Yeah.
Don't try to make it seem like it was okay because you did this and you did that. Man, that's foul. That's foul. That's one of them foul on the plays, like when we teaching our clients. That's a foul on the play. Go ahead.
It's a foul on the play to say why I did it?
In that moment. That's not the time.
What should have been done is, before you actually did it, bang. Look, but this is a conversation most don't want to have. But I'm thinking about doing something. I'm on the verge. If you don't do this, man, I can mess around and end up cheating on you. That's not a conversation 99% of the couples want to have. But that's a conversation that should be had if you don't want to do it. And if your spouse come to you that way, don't crucify them. You better listen. If a man or a woman tells you, babe, if we don't get here, this can be a serious issue. You have to take heed to that. Like, for real.
Yeah. And so, and like we're saying, some y'all are saying the why matters. It does, but we're talking about like right now in this moment, in the person trying to heal, they're just coming and like basically they done found out.
Right.
Apologize about it. Confess my sins without trying to justify right now. Don't that not right now. We'll get to that eventually. Don't try to make your spouse feel wrong or the blame because you took them gradual steps to cheat. Because there were some steps you took. At any moment, you could have stopped and came and had that real conversation that Mom was just saying. Or even having a real conversation with your darn self that I'm on the verge of, I'm weak right now. I'm vulnerable right now.
Right.
We are missing something in this marriage.
And even if you did have those conversations and your spouse didn't listen, you're still wrong.
Yep.
Even if they didn't listen and you tried to warn them, you're still wrong and not justified for cheating. If no one told you being married will be easy and a piece of cake every day.
All right. So get clear on your why. If you are the person that is cheating, you need to get clear on your why. That's a technique that's used that I use, the why. If you ask, and y'all can use this even in careers and anything, but asking the why question 5 times, and I'm gonna show you how it's done, to get to the root of it. Because a lot of times we just start off surface and we don't know why did I respond like that? Like, why did I snap? And I'm just using.
And this is in the be heard. I don't want you to give too much. That's in that be heard. The why and the keys of communication.
Right.
If you ain't got the be heard program, I don't want even give you that.
No, we're not gonna go deep into communicating.
Okay.
But getting clear on your why. Like, did this infidelity provide you or make you feel powerful? Did it make you feel wanted? Did it make you feel beautiful? Did it make you feel attractive? Because when we don't feel that in our marriage, again, we become vulnerable to the situation. But even being powerful, you got I'm thinking about a man that he got a wife that just like, she harsh with her words, she belittle him, she talk crazy to him. Like, I don't even feel like a man with you, right, because of how you respond to me. And so he meet a woman that put him on this pedestal, right, and make him feel good. And so he's gaining his power back.
But you know what I thought, we're kind of off subject for a quick second. You know what I thought was powerful when I was reading Proverbs is God warns men on I don't know how many occasions to stay away from a woman, her luxurious lips, her hips. And he tells you, stay the hell away. Get away from her.
And that was talking about a married woman.
Yes. Women are extremely and will always be
beautiful,
desirable for a man. And you were made that way. Men, we lose our train of thought. We lose all things when it comes to women. We would lose our mind. And God says, hey, bro, don't go there. Get away from her, run. Women are powerful. When Adam woke up and saw Eve, he lost his mind. I ain't going to get into the scripture about that. That's in the scripture. He had fun. So he said, oh, Lord, this is for me.
That's all you, Adam. That's all you right there.
Women, y'all are powerful. Y'all are a drug to us.
Ron, I believe infidelity, cheating can manifest itself in other ways besides sex. And I think that
it starts.
I think and that goes with what the couple. What
is cheating? Talking.
Yeah, but we know it's different.
The conversation you had or having could be cheating.
Yep.
Without touching them, we could be cheating.
Because if you're having a lustful mindset towards
it. We having a lustful conversation. What I can do, what you can do, what we will do. You just cheated.
Yep. Why did you cheat? Was you cheating for revenge?
When that's a woman.
So if you have not share the video because we get to the end of this thing. And so understanding your why you keep cheating or you did cheat will support you in a place where you don't feel a need to keep doing it. But you gotta understand your why, because a serial cheater, you keep doing it is deeper than I just like booty. Definitely if you married and you got somebody at the house. Right. So why did you cheat? Okay, I'm gonna take y'all on the example of the why questions, okay? So why did I cheat? Because I felt like something was missing in my marriage. So then you go to the next why. So why did I feel like something was missing in my marriage? Because we were not having sex, and that often led to us not even having affection between each other. So why did we stop having sex and not showing affection? Then you answer it. Example, because he was working more and acting like I did not matter. So why was he working more? To bring more money in our home, to take care of our family, to take care of the kids so that I can have, so we can have the greatest things in life. So if this was the case, why did I think I didn't matter? So now you don't really got to the bottom of it. We make a lot of assumptions a lot of times, but if you keep asking the why question, so the whole time the wife is thinking, I didn't matter. And that wasn't the case. He was working, and a lot of times it's not communicated, and you just step out, and all the time he's working for you because he do love you and he do care for you. So that's why you got to get to the why. So
I think so, Ron. Ron said, can you cheat on your spouse with a career or a vice? Yes. If your career or your vice, whatever that vice is can cause you and your wife or your husband to break, to split, to end, that's a problem. No one comes before your spouse besides God. Yes, we have to provide and work, but that job should not take away from what we have. My advice, whatever it is, shouldn't take away. And if it is, you have to know, I need to choose something else. Is this career, this money, worth me losing my husband?
Now I know I'm joking.
Is it worth me losing? Because that can happen. You might have to take it.
But is that really cheating? Is that really infidelity?
Is it cheating? Your spouse could think so. You ain't with me. You always at work. I'm sick of this. And your wife or your husband is looking at the job like a woman, like a man.
Yeah.
And it's having the same effect.
Yeah.
So if it's in my mind,
I don't know if it's infidelity.
God look at it as
right, but I can definitely see how it could be just like it.
Yes.
And if you've experienced infidelity,
that's what I mean. I don't believe God is looking at it as infidelity, but it's having the same effect. So therefore, I say yes, if that makes sense, Ron.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's fight night.
So, and in the book, it talks about even pornography being a source of infidelity, like finding out that your spouse, and I see Monica said gambling, addictions, and things like that does cause a breakdown in your marriage. And what happened with this spouse? She didn't know her husband had a porn, and he had been watching porn since he was 15, and she ended up finding his stuff and was just like, why? Like, why is that? And for her, it was like at that point, she felt like I am not enough. And when he's out, if I'm not enough in the house and he has to watch porn, is he outside of home? So whenever he wasn't coming home, she started thinking, is he out cheating because of this? So
because
it just
he watched porn.
Yeah. And it was hard for him to stop.
I think we talked about that. I totally disagree.
And so, it's about to go dead. So
what is?
Understand that it can I do believe it can manifest in different ways. And so we didn't really go into how you overcome infidelity. Baby, give me them pieces of paper right there on that desk, because it's a way to overcome it. But we knew we probably would run out of time on the show, so we chose to really talk to the person that was cheating and helping them understand the why and helping them start the healing process with their spouse. That's why we're saying apologize and don't minimize, confess without justifying it, and getting a clear understanding of why you are doing it. We had to just make a choice, because we was like, oh yeah, this show will go on, could go past the 1 hour. But if you need to overcome infidelity,
that might be next week. We can continue next week.
We can continue. It's making and I'm gonna just hit on it. It's making a spiritual commitment.
Let's do that next week. Okay. Let's make that the whole show next week. How to overcome infidelity.
Okay, and even in overcoming it, if you feel like y'all cannot do it together, Ramon and I are relationship coaches. We work with clients and couples and coaching them if you're struggling in your marriage dealing with a crisis. And this is definitely a crisis, because how I said earlier, how it affects everybody, the spouse, the person actually cheating, the lover, the kids, the family, the church union. Infidelity impacts everybody. It's not just your household. So that whole this is our business, it ain't, because even your kids, I just had an aha. Now it infects the community, because if your kids are sitting in the midst of chaos because of infidelity, now guess what? They come to school with that. And so now they are acting out in school, or not operating as their best in school. So now they're going impacted. If they become aggressive because of it, now they fight. Now they going to the alternative schools. Infidelity impacts the community.
They can.
Wow. So that's why we wanted to take this show to talk about helping the person that is cheating. And so next week, we'll talk about the barriers that hinder us from healing. And then we'll add the part of overcoming it.
Right.
And so I guess sex is gonna take us into more. Okay, let me hit on the stuff that we'll talk about next week. The spiritual commitment, talk about it, and we'll tell you the key point, the things that you should be communicating and talk about to order to help you get over it. Being able to repent and confess and ask for forgiveness, and truly working towards change. There's some things you got to do to work. It can't be no, I apologize. Okay, I forgive you. And y'all just keep going and keep pushing. That is fake. Ain't no healing taking place. And y'all are going to continue to have problems if that's what you do. I find out. I go to Mom and tell him, baby, I'm sorry. I'm like, okay. And y'all ain't talked about it. Mm-hmm. No, that ain't gonna work. If a woman's do that, you say I apologize.
I got a question.
And she like, okay.
I got a question.
That means
I got a question. Do women talk about amongst their friends about y'all cheating? Because I would probably say no. Like if a group of friends will get together, men may mention how he got this, he did this. Yeah, me too, dog. I just check up her man. I got to check up.
A married man?
Yeah, married men would do that. Do women do that? Girl, people saying, yeah, do women have those stuff? Or do they keep that a secret?
I think they probably would do it with their, like, my girl, like, she my girl type. And that's probably, she might say that to one person, two people. I don't see that in a general conversation, a woman that just in general speaking, even to somebody she consider, I consider her a friend, this somebody I talk to. I would think a woman would only tell that to her ride, die, sister. Yeah, I don't see women doing it. I can see women saying how I almost got weak, I almost did it, but to actually admit to it, yeah, I think she would with her.
Do your crew tell y'all, girl, don't do it. It ain't worth it. Or do y'all just do you sympathize with what she's going through and understand? Well, girl, how was it?
I think it depends on your friend. I think it depends on your friend. It depends on her mindset. If she's somebody that really truly believes in marriage and she's healed and come from a good place, then I think she will give you the right advice. But if she's somebody that's still broken, she still hurt, dude done cheated on her, she ain't got past it, yeah, she gonna tell you the wrong thing to do because she coming from a hurt place, period. So that's my perspective on it. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna ask you, this is something that was in the book when the woman said she didn't understand why her husband would not stop looking at other women. Whether we had that experience, but we was early. That was our first year of marriage. That happened to us in Atlanta. You remember?
Yeah, right.
Was that our first year?
That was first year.
Yeah, we walking at it was
NBA
All-Star weekend. We walking. This boy turns a whole circle around to look at some women that just passed us. I did one of them. Like, really? But it didn't really just impact us, but it's some men like that cannot stop looking. Even with his wife there with him. You see, that's a problem.
Yeah, that's a problem. Yeah, that's gonna be a problem. For most. I will say with a lot. I'm not gonna say with most, but with a lot. Mm-hmm. But everybody do. You just gotta be respectful. Don't do it in front of them. There's ways to do it because I don't care what no woman say, mm-hmm. what no man say. When you see a good looking man or a good looking woman, you're just being subtle and slick with me. Women have that down to a T. Men don't. Women have it down to a T. A woman will spot a man 3 miles away that look good. We may see him when she's 100 yards from us. Y'all see him 3 miles away. You saw him coming 20 minutes ago. Here he comes. It's gonna be about 20 minutes, but trust me, he comes. And bam, there he go. Look, told you. Bam. You know what I'm saying? But you do it just to do it in their presence. And like, dang, oh my God. To me, that's disrespectful. And second, here's what I've got good at. I don't look no more hardly. For a split
you don't look long.
For no. You can't look no. Here's why. You don't look long. Here's why. You don't stare. Because you might stare. And guess what?
They make eye contact.
They staring back. And giving you the look like, Negro, I see you. Oh shit. That scared me. That scared me. I ain't lying. Oh God, that scared me. Because I done it. Like, hey, she look, and I look up, this heifer is checking me out. Like, oh hell no. That's the devil. That's the devil. I swear down there, I be thinking everything is the devil. Now you ain't getting me. Y'all ain't getting me. The devil's a lie. Because women, y'all be sure. Women will help you with their eyes. I know men do, but women, like, God, dog. I don't even think women don't even try to hide. Here's a woman, Michelle. Okay. What kills me, and you already know this, and I don't know why this is the case. Older women are some savages. Oh, if she's in her 40s, 50s, 60s, that woman can be a sad boy. That woman is looking and she, ooh, Negro. I don't know what it is about older women. If she probably 60, she like me.
Yeah. I witnessed it. I was there. He would always tell me that. But I actually was with him at Walmart in the line. And I witnessed it. And when I say he wasn't even looking his best. We grocery shopping. He just threw on something. These two of them, one white, one black, was trying to holler at him. I don't know if she was hollering at him, but she was having a deep conversation.
She was just now.
Hadn't said nothing to me. But soon as we switched positions in that line, now she out talking.
That was just an old lady being nice.
Whatever.
And that's not why I wore sunglasses. Sometimes, yeah, when you out and about, yeah.
I think this is the fact. If this is a wife that is dealing with that, her husband looking at women, and definitely if she's expressed it to you, you have to take that into consideration. If you staring at this woman, looking at this woman in your wife's presence, is it worth hurting her feelings, knowing that it bothers her? Is it worth putting her in a bad position just so you can look at somebody else? So you got to start taking what she's saying. And women, speak from your heart in these situations. Speak from your heart and not from your head where you going off and you saying you doing this and you doing that. Speak truly from your heart and let him know how that is making you feel. Right. A lot of times we try to match their energy by coming from our head and not using our power source, which is our hearts. And then too, I think this, when your relationship is in a better place, that's gonna be hard, definitely in a place for some people that's just hard for a period. But if you're in a hurt place, you know, there with betrayal and infidelity and all of that stuff, that's going to take a effect on you. But when you get to a place where you are healed and you have, like where we are now, I know when Ramon when I see her coming, I already know my husband is looking. I do not trip. If I see a woman that she is shaped, she got booty, she cute, I know he's looking at her.
How do you figure that?
Because I know my husband.
And what that means?
I know you're looking. And so
do you see me looking?
I know she's walking towards her, so yeah, I know you're looking. I know.
You see everybody. But do I do this right here or do I be disrespectful?
No, you might do a subtle. As soon as she hit you right here, like right there, you might do a look down right there. So you boom. You saw the booty. That's what you wanted to see. And so I don't trip. I don't trip now because just where I am.
You didn't do it to me, bro.
I'm not saying I don't. See, you don't even have to act like that. You know, you don't even have to act like that.
I don't be looking like that.
So, I I think it's the place where you all are at too in your relationship. Because some couples can say,
some women are some girls.
She look
baby,
good.
She
Like she
look
look
at her.
good.
I
Like,
know some brothers who got women will say, damn, she fine. Look at her.
or even when we say we looking at TV, like some couples can say, like a man might just say, I ain't baby, she bad. And the woman agrees, she is bad. Like that's how I know. When I see a bad chick coming, I already know. And some couples can sit and be like, oh Lord, Morris Chestnut look good. And they can say that in front of their husband and it don't bother him.
Right,
so you gotta know, just be mindful of your spouse. Be mindful of your relationship, the partner that
because you can't, some people can't have that.
They can't handle that.
Yeah.
They cannot handle that.
Yeah.
So you all have been tuned in. Y'all are tuned into the Couples Lounge Show. Thank y'all for joining us as we talk about sex and infidelity and its impact. Let me tell y'all, this is my somebody should have told me moment. This is what I want y'all to do. This is your assignment. You need to go and read Proverbs 5 and 6. Go read Proverbs 5 and 6. If you need coaching because your marriage, your relationship is in a crisis, chaotic moment, reach out to us. Because infidelity is hard. It is hard to overcome it. It can be overcome with time, but if you keep reopening that wound by committing adultery, infidelity is going to be hard. It's going to continue to be hard to get past. So you all can set up a free discovery session, which is a free consultation with us, and talk about it. If you know your marriage is in trouble, y'all, you don't have to continue to live in misery. There is opportunities. There's ways out. There's ways to getting back to peace, love, and joy. And that's what life coaches do, is accelerate the healing process, accelerate you getting to the place where you want to be. And if you need individual coaching, DM me, or you can just go to www.calendly.com/we-will-win. So what's your somebody should tell me? You got one?
Yeah, I got one. Infidelity is just wrong. It's wrong.
Bottom line, stop trying to justify.
What's next week again? What's the point?
We're going to talk about,
how do you get
overcoming it and the barriers that keep that wall up.
So we're talking about people who probably dealt with it and still tripping. Yeah, it might have happened 2-3 years ago, 4-5 years ago, and you still can't get past. You can. You can, and it can even, your marriage and relationship can be better than it's ever been. Because
we to be honest and transparent, if you haven't been following us, it's something that we have dealt with in our marriage. And we eventually got past it. It didn't happen overnight. It didn't. It was a process. It was a process. And so I love talking about it because I was in that place of unforgiveness and I didn't want to forgive. I did not want to let it go because I wanted him, or I thought he was going to feel the pain that I felt from what he did. So I love speaking to wives and couples to try to break that. So yeah, we'll talk about it next week. The 6 barriers, and then
it's fight night.
How to overcome it.
Canelo.
So thank y'all for tuning in. We'll see y'all next week. Make sure that you tag somebody or tell somebody about the show. Tell somebody to come and like the Couples Lounge page. And thank y'all for rocking with us. What you saying? We rock with y'all because y'all rock with us?
No, baby.
Well, get it right.
We rock with y'all like y'all rock with us.
Okay.
No, man. Messing up my scene.
Whatever. All right, y'all. We love y'all from the bottom of our hearts. Thank y'all for tuning in. And we'll